Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Master of Orion, continuing on with the first impressions of the game. And I did dial back some of the audio, so the voice acting is going to be quieter from here on out, but it should still be audible enough that you can hear it. All right, so we're now into the second turn, and let's check out some things that have happened since last turn. So we now have the research laboratory under construction. So let's grab somebody from research and focus. I might even grab everybody here to focus down the research lab, because the research lab is going to give us quite a benefit once it's completed. So we're sacrificing research now for research later, more or less. I'm going to continue with the food production as it is. Technically, I could take one worker off because we lost a population point for that colony ship that got constructed. So we now have 7 population rather than 8. So if I removed this guy, we would still have population growth. Just not nearly as quick as if we kept him there. As we can see, the big difference. I think I'm going to put at least one research point here so we keep physics being researched, as research is kind of key to this game. Let's think about what other production we want to do. So we could do a missile base, which is going to add defensibility for this planet. Or we could do some ships. Now, the scouts don't take a whole lot of time to build, nor do the frigates. Now, one thing, if you remember when I did the setup of the game, that we have to consider is the fact that there are going to be pirates out there. So maybe I want to start with the production of a frigate just to be on the safe side. This will cost 1 command point, as does the scout. And it looks like he has two nukes and 2 laser cannons. All right. We'll build one of these as our backup. I believe I did that correctly. Just make sure. There it is. There it is in the queue. So there we go. Not too bad. Let's now look at our fleet, because I think that's mostly all we have to do is set up our new production and do things with our fleet. So these guys are moving. I don't see them having moved along the track, though. But the colony ship here, we're going to have to move. I'm going to move it to this warp point. Ooh, what happened there? Not what I wanted to do. You. Can I not move to the warp point? Oh, right click. Duh. There we go. All right, let's end the turn. There they go. So let's send this jump point. Oh, okay. So at this point, we can see that there is a planet in here. So we didn't have good vision on Gata here. For some reason, we have good vision over here, although we don't have a warp point to get over there. Now, one thing I'm noticing that we don't have vision on in this solar system is we don't have an idea of what its warp points will be until we move there. So we have another fleet that needs orders. I don't really know which way to send the colony ship. I could preemptively send it to Ptolemy. And the one thing I was checking there is we do kind of have a greater map view there. Might as well send it this way because there's just so many planets over here. I think it's worth doing. Okay, so I get it. When I told that one fleet to go down this warp path, they were around the planet, so it took them a turn to get over to the warp point, and then it took them the next turn to start moving. So because my colony ship was on the warp point with them, it's more or less following them. Okay, so I don't think we have anything else to do. We're just producing things, and we're doing our research, and physics is going to take quite a few turns now because of how we set things up. Let's just check out Sol here. So we're starting to see the pollution accumulate here. So we're getting 1 percentage point per turn. I'm assuming what this parentheses is telling us. due to how much we're producing. And currently we're at 3. Now, I don't know how that affects us at the moment. But I'm going to assume it doesn't really affect us right now. So let's go ahead and end the turn. All right.
Welcome, stranger. I am the Empress of the Mershan Pride. If you scratch our backs, we'll scratch yours.
Okay, and that's just pretty much a greeting. We've now encountered this race. So currently we're in the middle. Disposition-wise, they don't hate us, but they don't really like us either. Now, this works like previous Master of Orion games did. Certain races will like other races better, and certain races will hate certain other races, depending on their racial dispositions. So apparently we don't get any real bonus with the Mershan. Maybe we would have gotten a penalty, though, but we're more diplomatic, so we even that out. It's hard to say at this point. Alright, so what does she have to say? Before getting into combat, it is important to consider the enemy's strength and analyze possible outcomes. Our ships are equipped with a special device capable of estimating an enemy fleet's strength. Compare the strength between different fleets. First, click the fleet, and then mouse over an enemy fleet. Okay, that's interesting. So if we click on our fleet here, we mouse over this fleet, we've got strength, they don't. I'm going to assume that strength is our frigate, and their lack of strength is maybe a scout. I'm curious, can we click on them? Yes, we can. So we see they have a scout. We also see they have another scout coming in. So we probably can make the assumption here that this system is their home system. So we started really close to them. Where are we as far as the galaxy? We're on the outer edge, so that's interesting. Oh, we've got something here, too. We've got pirate, I'm going to assume? Let's see. Space pirates. So let's take a look at their strength as opposed to our frigate strength. So we don't want that fleet. We want this fleet. There we go. So their strength is 21.7, so they do not have particularly strong ships. And ours is 119. More than likely, we're going to want the frigate to backpedal over to our own system. Unfortunately, if this works the way that it did with other Master of Orion games, once you're warping to a system, you can't stop and turn around. You have to get there, then you can turn around. So we're going to have another turn to get there, and then we're going to have 3 turns to get back. So this is all time that the enemy here, the pirates, which says that 10 turns to arrive, that just seems kind of odd. They're not that far away from Gaeta, and 10 turns makes them pretty slow. Hopefully that is the case. That could be a miscalculation, though, because we don't have good sensors on them. I'm not really sure. But we have here, it says that, from what I can make out, it will take this ship, kind of hard to see with the background. It looks like 2 turns to get there. Kind of hard to make out. Trying to zoom out to a point where I could see it. Maybe that says 1 turn. Yeah, 1 turn. That's kind of an issue, is the backdrop and the color they've chosen here for the enemy ship. That's really hard to make out. Well, technically not enemy, neutral ship. All right, let's check out our diplomacy screen. Do we have a... Yes, we can now talk to them. So let's see what we can do with Torfang here. Oh, she just broke. She just broke into the T-pose. All right, well, early access it is.
Well, hello there.
All right, so let's see what we can do. We can declare war, which we're not ready to do. We have declarations and negotiations. Now, declarations are probably just going to be like, hey, stop doing that, or, you know, maybe threats. Yeah, don't colonize close to us. Kind of a threat. Then we have negotiations.
What is it?
So we can just pay them. But technically, we're over here. We can share charts. Well, we haven't really explored much, and I'm assuming they haven't either, so there's no real point to trade that. Establish embassy. Well, we can't do that because we don't have that one research tree unlocked yet with the diplomacy. Trade treaty. We don't have an embassy, so we can't do that. So a bunch of things are locked away if we don't have an embassy. Exchange tech. We don't have any tech to exchange, so there's nothing there. And it looks like there's a lot that we can't do without an embassy. So looks like the most we can do is just tell them to vote for us in the Galactic Council, but there is no established Galactic Council yet. Or we're not a member in any case. So the only thing we could do to sway them is share charts, and I'm not going to do that yet. So there's not a whole lot we can do to interact with them until we get an embassy, but that depends on us having that research. So, all right, that's all the interactions we have for now. But this is very reminiscent of, I would say, Civilization, if I were to make a comparison.
I'll be seeing you real soon.
Okay. So I think we've done all we need to do at the moment. We're currently researching physics. That's going to take 6 turns. And, oh, you know one thing? We're rush building. Yeah, I think that all needs to stay the same. So let's just go ahead and end the turn. What does this mean? Pirate fleet detected. All right, well, we already knew about that. And it does give us kind of a map indicator here. So let's keep an eye on them when we end our turn. Maybe even zoom out a little bit. The mouse controls are a little bit sensitive, I've noticed. And there is no way for me to adjust that so far in the game. All right, so I guess that 10 turns was really inaccurate because they're already in the system. Well, our scout ship might be in peril here. And honestly, our own system might be in peril. So I think we're going to have to immediately move our frigate here back to our system. And I'm just going to tell them to move to the warp point for now. We can have them move other places later. And I can't see. It's going to take 3 turns. All right. And our scout, we need to start exploring. So let's explore the stars that... I mean, not the stars. The planets that are likely to have habitable planets. So these probably are gas giants. I'm just going to assume. These are probably habitable planets. So we're going to check these ones out first. And they all take 1 turn to get to. So there was a mouse over here. Young stars that have mineral-rich planets but are barely able to support life. So it's not likely we'll get anything going on there. What is that? Huh, that's got a weird graphic to it. Maybe that's a wormhole? That would be my guess. We'll have to check that out later. And what kind of star is this? So this is a orange star. These stars are all always orbited by planets that can be supported, that can support life, but are poor in minerals. And I think that's what we are over here, yeah. So it's a possibility these will not be habitable, but we might as well check them out. As we are going to have our colony ship arrive soon. Alright, so this is a small radiated mineral-rich planet. So not very habitable, but it does have a special. Artifacts. Grant a research boost to the colony. Alright. Can our scout do more than what we did? No. Okay, so that will take them next turn to do. Alright, so far, so good, I would say. That pirate has kind of put a monkey wrench in things, but it is what it is. And I think we're happy with our production all the same. And we do have that frigate. Can we rush by things like we could in the previous games? Yes, we can. So we might want to buy the research lab now, so that we can start working on the frigate. And then we may be buying that as well. So let's buy. Okay. Oh, okay. I was kind of trying to figure out where our income was coming from. So it's our population plus our resources minus our upkeep. And we lost some population when we sent out that colony ship. So I think that's why that went down. And we also have more ships out in space as well because of the colony ship. So We're going to buy this, and I think I'm going to keep my production high just so that we can rush by the frigate in case that that pirate is a problem. Okay, so I think that's everything we want to do. Go ahead and end the turn. All right.
President, if I may.
Our scanners have detected an anomaly. These strange eddies are usually located off the usual warp points between stars. They may be an SOS beacon of a derelict ship or a particularly dense resource cluster, but are usually worth the time to explore. In order to claim an anomaly, use one of your ships to scout it. The ship will move away from the warp points towards the anomaly and return to its starting point once it has been explored. So I'm going to assume this is the anomaly over here. We'll just confirm that. There it is. All right. So the pirates moved in the same space with us, but they did not attack us, which is good, honestly. All right, so we have a lot of warp points from this planet. This planet seems very strategically important. But I am going to send this over to the anomaly. It's only going to take a turn to get there. That's more or less already there.
You come across the broken remains of an unbelievably advanced alien research facility. Only one of its consoles seems to be in working order. It takes some of your brightest scientists to decipher a small amount of the data from within it, but it is enough to spearhead a new technological breakthrough.
All right, so we automatically acquired biology, which is nice. I mean, wow, free tech is always great.
The readings gathered at the anomaly have led us to a new discovery.
All right, so we gained biospheres and hydroponic farms. Now, do we have to make a choice here, or do we automatically get these? So we either get 2 food, and it costs a little bit of money to do so, or we get biospheres, which give us a food and a research. Again, I don't know if we're necessarily choosing between the two, but if I were to make a choice, I would do biospheres because if it gives us one of each. Let's go ahead and just select that and hit choose research and see what happens. Hard to say if that's what happened or not, but it might be just moving us to this screen in case we wanted to choose a different thing for research, but we're already working on physics, so there's no reason to switch. So I'm just going to hit done for now. All right. And what does this mean? All right. So that's our completion. So it kind of gives us messages somewhat similar to Civ 5, where you've got those messages that drop down on the right side. And we've got the anomaly detected, which we already checked out. And it looks like the scout is auto-returning to where he was. And we have our frigate returning. Let's check out. If we click on this, does it go to our production? No, for some reason it...
Sorry for the interruption, President.
Alright, just talking about how the population affects different things that you get. Alright, so this is confirming some things that I suspected. So assigning population to work on food will speed up population growth. And while doing production and research will reduce how many turns it takes for that to happen. Okay. I'm surprised that didn't, that message didn't come up earlier, but okay. We're still trying to rush the frigate because I'm concerned about this pirate. So we're going to continue with production as it is, but more than likely we're going to be switching that up later. Now, I don't want to go any more production than we've got because we're starting to have really significant diminishing returns. Another thing I note here that I didn't notice before is that with at least the food, some of these slots are grayed out. And we see here it says you need terraforming to unlock this cell. So apparently our planet is still a little bit short of where we want it to be if we want to unlock its full potential, which I think is part of the reason why we can't use all of the plant size limit as far as our population cap. Okay, so that is more or less good. Oh, do we want to queue up production here? What else can we build? We can build... Oh, okay, we got both. So there was no choice there. But I did remember there was a point in a tech tree where certain techs had a bar in between two things. Maybe that's when you start making choices, because a big element of Master of Orion 2 is that you would have more than one research available with each tech level, but you could only choose one. Now, it seems like they have scaled that back a little bit, at least for the beginning parts of the game, but possibly later on in the game, they are going to make you start choosing. We'll have to see how they implement that, because as I said, that was a big part of how Master of Orion 2 worked. Now, Master of Orion 3 did that very wrong when it was first launched, in that it just more or less randomly assigned you techs, and certain techs you wouldn't have access to just by random chance, which is honestly the worst way you could do research. You're taking it out of the player's hands, whereas Master of Orion 2, it was very much in your control, but you couldn't specialize in everything. So we'll have to see if this goes more a Civ 5 route of allowing you to unlock every single tech thing that you want, or making you make choices later on. We'll have to find out. Okay, so we could build either of these. I like the idea of the biospheres, maybe, as our next production. Now, this is queuing it up, and we might as well do hydroponic farms after that. We also have a choice for pollution cleanup. What is our pollution like right now? And it's not really giving us a mouse over for this, so I'm not exactly sure how that works. So currently it's at 5%. Not going to really worry about it at 5%. I wonder if we get a pop-up at some point if our pollution is too high. We'll also have to keep an eye on this and see how that's affected by pollution. I would assume that the food production would be more heavily affected than anything else, but we'll have to see. Alright, so we got one planet searched, but it wasn't a very good planet. Let's go over to this one.
Your actions have the whole galaxy jumping like a cat on a hot tin roof.
So, the Martian are kind of mad at us. I'm gonna tell them to go screw themselves, because we're right on top of each other. If I don't colonize near them, I don't colonize anywhere. So, go screw yourself. Decline. I also like the aesthetic of the Martian. It's kind of like an Egyptian aesthetic, very reminiscent of Stargate.
Suit yourself. I will have my way, one way or another.
So she's now pissed at me, so much for diplomacy with the Martian. Now, they're a more militaristic race. Alright, so one of our colony ships has reached a viable planet. Colonizing planets from different planetary systems is a good way to expand the range of our scanners. Choose planets with good biomes to boost population growth and a high mineral richness to increase production. To establish a new colony, click a fleet and with at least one colony ship and select colonized from fleet action. So let's view the planet. Alright, so what do we have here? We have another radiated, small, kind of crappy planet. And from what I can see, it cannot produce food. And it has decent production because of its resources, but it can't produce food, obviously. The radiated planets do not have an atmosphere due to their stars' emissions. Abundant planets have an average amount of valuable minerals. So it's giving you an idea of what these different things mean with this description over here, which is not something I really looked at earlier. And we have the option to colonize here. We're not going to do that. Instead, let's go ahead, send this ship. What do we have here? Ugh. So, another bad planet. So, volcanic planets have a hot surface, making life almost impossible. Placeholder description. Okay. That's fine. So, very similar. So, so far, all the planets in this system are super uninhabitable. So, maybe jumping over here with the colony ship was the wrong move. as, yeah, there's lots of planets here, but they all kind of suck. All right, so this ship, we want to get it. What does this say? No, we don't want that. I'm not sure if things with moons are inhabitable, but I think what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to search these two planets just to make sure. We're just going to kind of queue that up. But I have a feeling these are gas giants because they look about that size, although technically our planet is pretty big, so this planet might be a good one. Now, these are both scouts, so we don't have to worry about expansion yet over here, so we have a little bit of time. But definitely, searching solar systems takes a lot more time than it used to in other Master of Orion games, because all you would have to do is jump into the solar system and you would have it. Okay, I think we're pretty good with everything, so this pirate isn't moving. So we're more or less, I think, safe for the moment. It's going to take us 2 turns to jump in the system. It's going to take us 3 turns to complete the production of the frigate. I don't think there's a reason to rush it at the moment until we have an idea of what this pirate's going to do. All right, so it's jumping to the Mershon, which is great. We have a threatening fleet detected. Where is that? Oh, well, we already knew about that. What's with this ship? It's still just kind of hanging out. How long does it take to get away from the anomaly? All right, so our scout needs orders. I'm going to jump it over here. Ooh. Large, arid. Let's check it out that. All right, so arid planets have rocky terrain and sparse vegetation. Ultra-rich planets are rare and overflowing with useful deposits. Ooh, and what is this dark quartz? Production bonus. So we want to colonize this planet immediately. So let's hop over to Ptolemy 2 here. And we are going to colonize it. Okay, so they apparently are, what does this say? High gravity on this planet. Ooh, I didn't pay attention to that. Makes it very uncomfortable and harsh place to live for your race. The colony production decreases by 50%. I still think it was worth it, though. Because holy crap, is this planet good otherwise. We have a cap here to research, though. Interesting. Oh, it affects our food production as well. Well, we're going to produce food over anything else. So, yeah, I didn't pay attention to the high gravity, so that's going to affect us. But this planet is so good outside of that, so I feel like we had to colonize it. You don't always get what you want. Sometimes there's downsides to anything that happens. But we'll work on food to try and get our population up. And I think I'm going to put a cut in the video here. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.